Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ad America. Yes, thank you. Ad America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, where our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to express, explore, and experience American culture through our diverse programs and facilities we have. Kindly visit our website at www.atamerica.or.id to become our precious member for free. And IELTS is often seen as one of the biggest challenges when it comes to scholarship application, isn't it, everyone? Yes, and but don't worry, everyone, we've got your back. And today you're watching IELTS Preparation Workshop Part 2 out of 2. But before we start our session for today, we have a trivia quiz for you, our sub at America, who joining us online via online platform. And the question is, when was IELTS first established? Is it A, 1977, B, 1978, C, 1979, or D, 1980? Submit your correct answer on our social media platform. And for those of you who answer correctly and quickly, will get a special shout out from us at the end of our event. And now let's just begin our workshop for today. Let's invite our facilitator today. She's a language assessment consultant, IELTS expert from British Council Indonesia Foundation. And everyone, please welcome Kak Grace Marcellina.
Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. How are you? Yeah. Okay. Have you had lunch? Yes, good. Have you had coffee? Ah, that's why. Okay, right. Welcome back to IELTS Workshop, Part 2 out of 2. Who was here last week? Oh, so many. Yes, I remember you. Yes, you're here last week, yeah? So what did we discuss last week? Yay, speaking. And today, we're going to have a look at everyone's favorite, the writing test. Yes. Okay, who doesn't like writing? It's fun, no? And it's like, no. Okay, right. It's always easy to do it when you know how, right? It's easy when you know how, right? So, have you ever had a really good writing lesson since you were in, let's say, primary school or SD? Do we really have that in our schools? Or only one person is nodding, the others, very lucky. Do you? Like my experience, my teacher just gave me an assignment, and then you submit that. I submitted that, and I've never seen the paper again. Right? Somehow it's missing in action. Yes. Not to mention feedback, even the result itself, we've never seen them again. Yes? Okay. Right. So as I mentioned earlier, today we're going to discuss the writing test. Very rarely we have a workshop on productive skills, yeah, which are the speaking and the writing parts. So this year, we also had the similar workshop back in March, if you attended that one. So this year we focus on the productive skills, because basically listening and reading skills, this is something that you can do yourself at home. There are quite a lot of resources that you can get. We have the internet, right? What can't you find on the internet? So we also have quite a lot of free preparation resources, which we are going to have a look at the end of my presentation, right? Now, if you're new, if this is your first day here, my name is Grace. I work closely with the exams team, British Council Indonesia Foundation, as a language assessment consultant, I think. Yes, all right. Now, IELTS stands for the International English Language Testing System. It's proudly co-owned by 3 institutions or bodies. So we've got British Council, IDP IELTS Australia, and Cambridge Assessment English. Now, it is designed to assess the English language ability for those of you who want to study work, or live, where English is the main language of communication. So especially if you want to apply, I think everyone, almost everyone here is a scholarship hunter for the US, yeah? Are you going to the US? Or maybe other, yes, okay. We've got quite a lot of scholarship openings, I think. We've got Fulbright next month. I think that depends on the degree as well. I think it was bachelor and depends on the major, yeah. I think you can check at America's Instagram account. They've got a few lists, yeah. So they've got one in October and then November. LPDP is on in January or February. Yeah, they've got 2 batches in a year. So it's better to be prepared instead of just keep trying your best every single test. It's not cheap, so it's better to prepare, yeah? Right. Now, the 9-band scale is awarded as well as individual scores per sub-test. Normally, universities require you to get at least 6.5 to 7. Again, depends on the degree. Yeah, undergrad usually 6, some even 5.5. But I think it's always the best case scenario to get the highest score as possible. Yeah, to get better chance of being accepted. Yeah. The test result itself is valid for 2 years. And although there is no passing or failing mark, you should check with the institutions how much you need. So today we're going to have a look at some techniques that can help you get a better score at least. Yeah. For example, some people or some students or some candidates, they've taken the test a few times, not taking preparation classes or whatnot. Sometimes they still confuse. What did I do wrong? Or what should have I done to get a better score? I think my grammar is good. My range of vocabulary is also good. Sometimes it's about addressing the topic. Yeah. Sometimes I think most Indonesians, we like talking, right? We like sharing, yeah? But sometimes you get off track. Yeah. So only in the introductory paragraph, you stick to the point, to the topic, but paragraph 2, 3, 4, you talk about something else. Yeah, so that actually doesn't cover the first marking criterion, which we're going to have a look at, yeah? Now, the writing assessment criteria is basically similar to the speaking test. Anyone remembers what the criteria are? Start looking at their shoes. All right, so the last two is, oops, can't see. Right, so these last two are pretty much the same as the ones in the speaking test, yeah? A to Z, that must be vocabulary, right? The last one is, if you can see that, what's that? The one with the pen. No idea, okay. Grammar, well done, very good, yes, okay. But let's start from the beginning, yeah? So the first criterion is task achievement for task 1 and task response for task 2. Why are they different? We'll have a look at that later. And the second one is coherence and cohesion. Oh, sorry. Task achievement and task response, this is the degree to which you have answered the question, yeah? Coherence and cohesion is how you structured and organized your essays. Yeah, your use of cohesive devices, are they used accurately and appropriately so it's easy to follow your ideas? Or does it jump around? Don't start singing. So you go, let's say, from Jakarta to Bandung. Yeah, the easy and clear way is to take the tollway, yes? Right? But sometimes people like challenge. So they go to Semarang instead first, and then they go to Bandung, yeah? So that's not cohesive or coherent. Next one is, of course, the range of vocabulary, yeah, and the accuracy and the appropriacy with which you use it. And last one is grammatical range and accuracy, or we call it GRA. Yeah, the range of structure and how accurate and appropriate you use it. Basically the same as the criteria in the speaking test. For the test day, avoid using colloquial expressions. Yeah, treat it as a formal situation. Yeah, leave your slangs for later, and try to avoid using contractions. Do you remember what contraction is? Yeah, short forms, yeah? So instead of writing don't, D-O-N apostrophe T, you write do not, right? Not to write I apostrophe am, but I am, right? Some people still write cannot as in C-A-N space N-O-T. It's actually one word, yeah? Okay, so avoid using contractions. For full band descriptors, you can scan this QR code. It will take you to IELTS Asia. No, I think this one is IELTS's website, where you can have a look at the full writing assessment criteria. Why do I have to look at the criteria? Yeah. Well, if you want to get a band 7, you should know what you need to do, right? Yeah. So by having a copy in your hand, like yeah, you can print it out, or you can just save it in your tablet or phone or whatnot, and then highlight the parts that you should do to get at least 7, band 7, if you're aiming for a band 7, yeah? If you're aiming for a higher one, yeah, of course, you highlight that band score. Now, here's a sample of the band descriptors. Let's see, if, for example, you're aiming for a band 7, oh, sorry, not that one, yeah, okay. So, for example, you're aiming for a band 7, this is what you need to do. You need to cover the requirements of the task. For academic, you need to present a clear overview of main trends, differences, or stages. For general training, you need to present the clear purpose of the letter, because usually you need to write a letter with the tone consistent and appropriate. And present and highlight key features or the bullet points for general training, although it could be more fully extended. So that's for band 7. Task achievement. Coherence and cohesion, this is, you will get 7 if you can logically organize information and ideas. There's clear progression throughout. Use a range of cohesive devices appropriately, although some might be under or overuse. Under or overuse is like you keep using the baso. Remember baso, B-A-S-O, but, and, so, or, not the meatball. You keep using but, and, so, or, but, and, so, or. But we have other cohesive devices, right? There's, yeah, moreover, right? What else? Furthermore, yes. In addition, yeah. We've got thus, hence, in a way, yeah. To end your essay, what do we use normally? At the end, for concluding paragraph. To conclude, in summary, okay, to summarize, yeah. So those are cohesive devices. Yeah, how you link your sentences and ideas. Lexical resource, yeah. So here in this case, you need to use a sufficient range of vocabulary, and then some less common lexical items with some awareness of style and collocation. So it's not just, yeah, if you were here last week, remember the cup of tea? Yeah? it's government's cup of tea to make policies. It's not their hobby to make policies, their job, right? So you know this set of lexical items or idiom, but if you don't know how to use them appropriately or accurately, yeah, what's the point of using it? You won't get extra mark for that. Yeah, okay. Some errors in word choice, spelling, and or word formation is still acceptable. You can still get band 7 for lexical resource. And lastly, a variety of complex structures, frequent error-free sentences, including, for example, sometimes this is something that people almost always never do because they're rushing into the end of the test. They don't proofread, they don't read it again. Yeah. So for example, she have instead of she has. Yeah. So, but if it's only once or twice, it's still okay. Yeah. More frequent error-free sentences, you can still get a 7. So we will, yeah, that can be a straight 7. They will tally the scores. Because sometimes you might get a 7 for task achievement, but maybe not enough coherence and cohesion or cohesive devices. So it can be a 6. Lexical resource, yeah, good enough, can be a 7. But grammar is a bit messy, a little bit. So let's say 7.6, 7.6. So your average writing score is 6.5. So it's not always straight 7 or straight 6 or straight 8. Yeah, it's the average. Right. For more detail, you can go to the website. Yeah. Now there are 2 tasks in the writing section. So task 1 for the academic, you need to describe a chart. It can be a graph, line chart, tables, bar chart, or even pie chart, sometimes diagrams or process, or even maps. For general training, you need to write a letter. You should write at least 150 words, and you have 20 minutes to do so. Right. Task 2, it's the same for both academic and general training. Here you need to write an essay, either descriptive or comparative. Yeah. You have to write at least 250 words within 40 minutes. It doesn't matter which one you start first. You can start with task 2, which I would recommend highly. Start with task 2 because you have more words to write and you have more time to do it. And it weighs more score. It's 2/3 of the overall writing score, yeah? But you must answer both tasks. Right. Let's see, is anyone here taking the general training module? Maybe you can raise your hand. No? Everyone's taking the academic? Yeah? Yes. Okay, good. But I've prepared the one for general training, yeah? Just a quick walkthrough, yeah? Right. So in general training, some important points, well, basically in task 1 and task 2, yeah? It's important to pay attention to your timing, right? Especially if you're not used to plan your essay. Quite a lot of people will just read the task and then start looking at the ceiling, looking for inspiration, yeah? Okay, and then 15 minutes gone. Another thing will be how to understanding the task and staying on topic, yeah? Like we discussed a bit earlier, the format of a letter and how to use the correct tone. So it's important to pay attention to these 4. I think almost always the letter should be semi-formal or informal. Very rarely they ask you to write a letter to a friend. Yeah, even for a work colleague, try to keep it still a bit semi-formal at least. Yeah, not too chatty. Now, just a quick overview of letter. the question for the general training module. Now, most questions have 3 parts: situation, an instruction, and a set of points to cover. If you haven't seen any samples of a general training question, it's like this. Yeah. Now, you will have the situation there. You live in a room in a college which you share with another student. However, there are many problems with this arrangement and you find it very difficult to work. What you need to do is to write a letter to the accommodation officer at the college, not to that friend. Yeah? Okay. I would like to complain to you. Yeah, to the friend. No, you don't address the task. And then the points that you need to cover is always in the form of 3 bullet points there. So you should describe the situation, explain your problems, pay attention to the plural. Yeah, so you must mention more than 1 problem and why it is difficult to work. So that's the reason. And say what kind of accommodation you would prefer. They don't have to be specifically discussed in 1 paragraph for each. So meaning you have 3 paragraphs to address each of the bullet points. But then this is where your cohesive devices play a part. There are also some guiding prompts, like how you should begin your letter there. So, dear sir or madam. If it's written like that, then you should begin your letter with dear sir or madam. Don't choose dear sir or dear madam. Or to be creative, dear Mr. Jefferson. Yeah? Unless it's only dear ... comma. So feel free to use someone's name, right? Make sure you know who you are, looking at the situation, yeah, and who you are writing to. So this forms your part of understanding the question. Now, when we look at letter formats, I don't think quite a lot of people write letters anymore, yeah? Right. One thing you should remember that it's a letter, not email. Yeah? Some people get it wrong just from the format itself. Because the letter format affects your task achievement score. The format is inappropriate. Although you don't need to include an address, you should have an opening given in the prompt. Yeah, dear sir or madam, dear Mr. something. I'll show you some samples of the informal, semi-formal, and formal openings and signing off. You should also mention the reason for writing and all the 3 points from the question. If you don't have a closing, this affects your task achievement as well, yeah, because it's about the format. Now, here's the samples of letter opening from the informal ones, the formal ones, and something in between. In most scenarios, you would need to write or to use the formal or semi-formal openings. Now, stating your purpose, you can see when it's a chatty tone, when you write to a friend, you can just say, just wanted to drop you a line about, I'm writing because, hey, I wanted to talk to you about, so that's an informal one. I am writing to inquire about, yeah? See, notice this? I am writing to, while informal you write I'm with contraction, yeah? Okay, there is no short forms in formal ones. While semi-formal, something like that. This is the signing off or the closing. For informal, you can say, anyway, gotta go now. If you're writing to a friend, not complaining, yeah? While formal, you would say, I look forward to hearing from you shortly. I look forward to receiving clarification on something or your response. But you should always put something to close the letter with. While semi-formal, like that. Yeah, I think we're more accustomed to this one, yeah? When, even when you're writing emails. That's the rest of the informal one. We've got the formal ones. Of course, obviously, you need to check with your opening when to use sincerely, yours sincerely or yours faithfully. Yeah? No, we're not going to discuss that. We will have a grammar class after this then, yeah? Okay, you can say best regards, kind regards, or respectfully. While for semi-formal, you can use those. And yeah. Okay. Right, so here's a quick look at the example of formal versus informal emails, this one, because it's short. Right. And signing off. You don't have to put your signature. It'll be a bit challenging, especially if you're taking the computer delivered test and they don't have the pen. You just write your name. Yeah, it's considered as a signature. So the signing off is I look forward to hearing from you, yours sincerely, and then your name. Right. Informal one, you can say all the best, Dana. Something like that. Yeah. So you know a little bit about the general training, or if you know one of your friends who are actually taking the GT module. Now we're gonna have a look at the academic module for writing, task one. Yay! Everyone's favorite. And I'm the only one who's excited. Okay, so there are 5 types of charts in the academic writing module. Anybody knows what the 5 types of charts are? I mentioned, yes? Line graph, flow chart, bar chart, yes. This side is a bit quiet. Pie chart, yes. Process, yes. Very attentive this side. Thank you, guys. Yes. Are you guys here? Are you guys here? Okay. Coffee after this, yes? No coffee chat this week, next week, yeah? So you can also practice your speaking. Right? Coffee chat. Once in 2 weeks. All right. So the first type of chart is line graph. Yay! This is the first time, maybe, what is that? Okay. And here's the bar chart. Fun. Okay. Right. So we've got line graph, bar chart. We also have, what is this? Tables, yes. Okay. This is real scores, guys. 2018. Look at that. Yes. Indonesian average overall is 6.38, with the lowest in writing, 5.78. Okay? Yeah. We tend to be better in receptive skills, listening and reading. Yeah? Sometimes, most of the time, you get it. You understand what is being said. Yeah? But sometimes you're struggling with expressing your thoughts, your ideas, because we rarely use them in daily lives. Not just speaking, but also writing. Okay, moving on. Now, here's a sample of a pie chart. You can get just 1 or 2, sometimes even 6. Yeah, this is not the most. Yeah, sometimes even 6. But one thing for sure in pie charts is always the numbers or the figures is always in percentages. Yeah, it's never in row number. And here's a diagram of hydroelectric power station. You don't have to have prior knowledge on each of the topic. Everything you need to write about is there in the chart. You just need to focus on how you. The idea is for anyone who reads your report can visualize the chart. That's the idea. So when you practice try not to look at the chart after you finish writing it. Just focus on reading your report. Can you visualize the chart? If you can, then it's a good report. But don't be halulu or delulu, yeah? It's okay. I can get it, yeah? Okay, ask your friend to read it, yeah? And maybe ask your friend to draw the chart to see if your report is clear, right? Makes sense, yeah? Okay, now, yeah. The next one is maps of the same area in 2 different years, 1920, the one on top, and today at the bottom. Sometimes you will also get a combination of 2 different kinds of charts. This is a bar graph and table. Make sure you understand how they are related. Yeah, what's the relation? Export earnings, okay, all the products the same, petroleum, engineered, gems and jewelry, agricultural, textiles, basically the same. Oh, how are they related? Oh, this describes the changes in values. Well, here, it's the export earnings, the actual number, yeah? Billions of dollars. If you don't understand what the chart is about, how are you going to write it? To write the report, yeah? Again, time management. Now we're going to have a look, in the next few slides, we're going to have a look at some solutions to these challenges. Yeah, especially for the second, the third, and fourth. Number 2 and 3, basically. Yeah, so how is this different? Sorry, it's supposed to be task response, yeah, not task achievement. Now, it's different from task 1, where you need to describe the main trends, key features, and present an overview. In task 2, task achievement, yeah. So here you need to report the key features, but one thing that candidates often missed out is the overview. What is an overview? It's not a conclusion, yeah, but it's what's the most significant features of the chart. Yeah, or the main trends. Trends are usually increase, decrease, or remain. Remain can be remain steady throughout the years, remain the highest, or remain the lowest. Yeah, sometimes it also fluctuated. Yeah, if there are different kinds of trend of one item, for example, it first increase and then fluctuate and then decrease. From 1940 to 2040, you don't have to write it in just one sentence. From 1940 to 2040, it increase, fluctuate, then decrease. It's better for you to divide them into several periods. Let's say 10, maybe every 10 years, every 20 years, from 1940 to 1980, it increased. Okay, so you divide them. Write what is easy for you, right? Again, cohesion, coherence, we discussed that a bit earlier. Sequences, for example, for a process, you would say first, next. Anyone? After that, yes. Can you use finally and then next? You said finally, but there's another process, yeah? Okay, it's not cohesive, okay. Grammatical range and accuracy, again, the same. Normally, we use passive voice for process, yeah? Because the object is more important than whoever is doing it, because anyone can do it. It doesn't mean that you always have to use the passive voice, but yeah, enough variety of active and passive voice. Simple, complex sentences. Don't be overly ambitious with your lexical resource, just because you know this set of lexes and then you just put them all in your report, but at the end of the day, they don't make sense. Again, it's not about how sophisticated your vocabulary is. It's about how accurate and appropriate you use them. Right. So if you have a problem with timing, this affects your task achievement score. If you don't finish your report, if you don't meet the minimum number of words that you need to write, let's say you just write 50 words, and half of it you just repeat the task question. Barely address the task, yeah? So that will affect your task achievement score. The same as if you missed out the key features of the chart, or you missed some, let's say there are 7 items, or it discusses 7 countries there in the chart, but you only discuss 2 countries. It shows that you don't understand the task. That will affect your task achievement score. And with organizing your ideas, yeah, of course, the flow, yeah, how you organize or structure your report, that affects your coherence and cohesion score. And Lexis is related to lexical resource. Some solutions to this, yeah, obviously. We're gonna have a look at a simple model. So you know what exactly the examiner is looking for when they mark my essay or report. A simple writing process that you can do, and do this as a habit, so you get used to it without thinking. You know what you need to do first, next, and always finish it by proofreading and reading your report or essay, yeah, because it's important. Sometimes you get typo, you need to correct the grammar or even spelling. Right, obviously, everyone still needs to improve their vocabulary, and then think of the context when you will use this set of lexis or vocabulary, yeah? Right, so here's a model format. Report always begins with an introduction, yeah, and then it is expected that you have an overview. A typical opening will be overall, yeah, okay. Some people, yeah, somebody said something, no? In general, yeah, I think, yes, in general, yeah, in general, overall, as can be seen in the chart, then you describe all the main trends. And then you have the body paragraphs. If there are 2 charts, yeah, 2 different types of charts, normally we would explain what's happening in the first chart, in the first body paragraph, and what's happening in the second chart, in the second body paragraph, right? So introduction, overview, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. Do you need conclusion? No, yes. Conclusion is not a must in task 1. Task 2, yes, you need conclusion. So if you have time and let's say last resort, it's 148 words. Write the conclusion is okay, yeah? So I wouldn't recommend it, but because it's not actually needed, but you can. But basically, conclusion is just a restatement of the main points if you have time. Right? If you have questions, write them down. We'll have a look at them later. Right. Next one is the writing process. So always spend some time to analyze the task and the data. So have a look at the measurements. Let's say, is it in millions or billions? Look at the size, if there's any. We'll have a look at that later. Units, time, and tenses. Find the trends and patterns, and then after that, you can start writing. It's always better to plan your work and then work your plan, rather than writing it twice. Yeah? Right. Don't worry, guys. After this, you're going to practice. Yay. So, yeah, first step is to analyze the task. Now, I'm going to show you three tasks, three different tasks. That and that one. Yeah? Okay, let's focus on the first one. Can anyone tell me what the topic is? What is the topic? Raise your hand. Anyone? Come on. What is the topic from the first one? From the first task, this one. Chart below shows the number of men and women in further education. Anybody wants to? No? Topic, just the topic. What do you need to discuss? What is the topic? Yes. Sorry?
Okay, it should be education in Britain.
Education in Britain. Okay. Anything else?
Who studying full-time or part-time?
Okay. Yes. Very good.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Clap. Wakey, wakey. Okay, right. So, yes. Don't forget number of men and women. Yeah. Okay. He covered almost all of them. Yeah. Just missed out the number of men and women. Right. So identify the topic. Yeah. Of course, there will be comparisons. Right. Compare and contrast. Compare differences. Contrast similarities. What's similar? What's different? Right. So we've got number of men and women in further education, full-time or part-time. Now, anything tells you about the time? Yeah? 3 periods, yes, 3 periods. Is that in the past, present, or future? It's in the past. Come on, louder, more confident, guys. When else will you practice? Yeah, 3 periods because it's in the past because we're very good. We're studying. Yes, so that's past continuous. Good job. Okay. Now, any taker for number 2? Give me the topic. Yes.
Audience radio and television in 1992.
Very good. Is that the past, present, or future?
Is the past.
Yes. Anything else that you can tell us about? Well, it's the past, 1992. Any other time units? It's already underlined, actually. The day. Yeah. So 24 hours. Yes? Okay. So it's important to identify the topic, the task. Anything important. Thank you, though. Thank you very much. Right. No applause? Yay! Thank you. Okay. Any taker for the third one? Yes, over there.
Tell the brick manufacturing process for the building industry.
Okay. Can you say it again a bit louder, please?
The brick manufacturing process for the building industry.
Thank you. Is that in the past, present, or future?
Present. Past manufacture.
Yeah, it's not the past, yeah? Who says past? Past and present, past. Okay, it's in the present, yeah? Thank you very much. What's the clue? What's the clue?
Shows bricks.
Yes, are. Are manufactured, yeah? Okay. So bricks, diagram process, bricks are manufactured, okay? So when the chart or the diagram is about process, normally it's in the present tense. Because you can do it at any time or anywhere, yeah? Usually it's like, for example, making plastic bottles, yeah? We'll have a look at the charts after this. Good job. So the first thing you need to do is to analyze the task, identify the topic, okay? The time period, when it's happening, and where is also important. Although not in all, like they're in Britain, right? In here, there is no place, and also in here. I tend to shorten it to what when, where. Find those three. What, the topic, when, the period, to help you with the tense that you're going to use as well in your report, and the where. Yes? Okay. Because you're going to rephrase that to make your introduction. Now, let's look at the charts. So this is from the first one. The number of men and women in full-time and part-time education in 3 different periods. This can be a bit tricky because you see male, all male on the left, yeah, and then all female there, and then the time periods is like repeated for each column. What's in the x-axis and what's in the y-axis? So be careful here. Men and women in further education in thousands. So it's not 1,000, but it's actually 1 million. Yes. 1,000 is what? 1 million, yeah? 1,000. And, right. Would you compare the male and female or the male, all the male charts alone and then the female charts alone? Divide? Divide only male and then female? Okay. So what would be, what can we conclude from this? Yes, please use the mic. Thank you.
Sorry?
What can we conclude? You said at the end you summarize. What's the...
Okay, so we need to elaborate from male and female, and then from the detail, we can compare the data. So we have to clear data about this graph.
Right. So what can you conclude from this chart?
Okay. The legend, like full-time education and part-time education in each period from 70 and from 1970 until 1990. Yeah, the trends.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Anybody wants to try? Yes.
I agree with Kakak.
Sorry. May we have your name? Diaz. With Diaz.
Okay,
And your name is? Sorry.
Vidya.
Okay.
Okay, I agree with Kadias, but maybe I want to specifically define that for the male graph, full-time education is we see that is increased for the 1970 and 71 until 1970 1990 is increased, but for the part-time education is fluctuative diagram. If we compare about the female, it is the same that the full-time education is increased too, like the male graph, but the part-time education is increased, different with the male graph.
Thank you very much. Yes, applause. Yes, okay. Very good attempts, guys. Okay. I just want to ask you something. For both sexes, for both gender, which one is more popular? Full-time or part-time? Very good. So something you need to think about. What's the most significant? Yeah? See the gray one, the black one. Which more stands out? The gray one, which is the part-time. Okay. Overall, it can be seen that part-time education is more popular for both male and female throughout the period. Okay? Right. Try to take a step back and look at the general view. don't focus too much on the detail. Yeah, this is common for Indonesian candidates. They think, it's not wrong, it's just that you need to get the overview first. So take a step back, look at the chart. You can see the difference in colors. Which one more stands out? Why do I sound like Sinhalese? So yeah, anyway, take a general overview and then you go into detail. Yeah? Okay? Questions, hold them. Right. Next one is, okay, radio and television audiences. We should have a 5-hour workshop, yeah? Okay, no, just kidding. UK, October to December. This is the second one, if you still remember. Yeah. Remember when I asked it's a day, yeah? When I asked that, is there any time period throughout the day? But this is not the conventional 24-hour clock, yeah? From 6, 12 noon, and then midnight. So be careful. This is not 600, 800, 1,000. Okay, so make sure you check that. And from the Y, it's in percentage. UK population over 4 years old. So not all ages, something that you need to pay attention to as well. See, go up and down, up and down. Yes. I had a student who actually put it's like a roller coaster. It's not a trend, right? A roller coaster is not a trend. If we discuss how you would describe this, then yes, we would need 5 hours. So it's just an example, guys. My point is make sure you check the units and the time preference. Now, this is the last one about the bricks that are manufactured. For diagrams like this, make sure you know where to start. From there, in this case, it starts from left to right. And then there's branches there. Then you go down to the left, and then go down to the right. Make sure you know where it goes, yeah? And then how you can group them into how many stages. For process, the overview is more about how many stages there are, or steps, and how easy or complex it is. Does it need, for example, machinery or specific personnel? Is it electronically? What is it? Yeah, is it done electronically or manually and something like that? Yeah. Okay, so that's the overview in the process. Right. Let's move on. After you get the what, where, when, then you can rephrase the task to write the introduction. I think we pretty much covered this, yeah? So rewrite this information into an introductory sentence using synonyms and grammar transformation. So it doesn't always have to be synonyms. You can change the word form from noun to adjective noun phrase. What is that? Review it yourself, yes? Okay. Now, let's practice this one, right? Choose a partner, someone you can discuss with, someone sitting next to you. Not in a group of 5, you will have a debate. Yeah, just choose someone sitting next to you. Find the what, the where, the when, and what's the other one after that? What, where, when, and then the overview. Yes, thank you very much. You were listening. Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to discuss with someone sitting next to you. Find the what, where, when, and what's the most significant features or the trends or the overview. Let's go. Talk to someone sitting next to you. What, where, when. Yes, and that's the topic, the place, the year, and the overview. Interesting discussion, guys. Okay, so this one is slightly different from the previous one. Yeah, full-time and part-time education. It's easy. Only two items being compared. Right. All right. Let's stop. Stop, guys. Pause. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Time is up. Okay. Yes, it can be very interesting, yeah, especially when you're doing it like this, not on the test day. Yes, yes, I know you enjoyed it because maybe you don't practice this kind of this way, I guess, yeah, right. So, any volunteer, any taker for the what, where, when? From this side, please. Anyone? What, where, when? Oh, right. Can you tell us your name first?
Okay, my name is Vidya.
Hi, Vidya.
Yeah. Hello. So, what is this? This is the let me. Okay. So this is the tourist rate in Corfu, where the three periods from 1995 to 2005. Okay, and where is it in Corfu?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah.
What is Corfu? It's an island, yeah? Yes. No, thank you. All right. Yeah, it's an island. Because sometimes people, when they stuck with, what is Corfu? What is Corfu? It's a new word, yeah? There must be a place, okay? There's some things that can tell you it's a place. Be careful with the when, yeah? It doesn't mean it's from 95 to 2005. It's specifically in 3 points of year, yeah? Right? 95, 2000, 2005. Yes? Okay. The rate of tourists from different nations. Thank you very much. Yes. Overview. Yes, this side. Any taker for the overview? You had intense discussions. Come on now, you all silent. Eesh. Come on. You've done twice, so not yet, not now. Anyone? Come on, guys in the middle. Yes? The one with the white jacket? Yes, can you tell us your name first, please?
Hello, my name is Hezekiel. I want to try answer for the overview.
Yes.
We can say that overall it can be seen that the number of tourists who visit Corfu in 1995 has increased over the 10 years is kept for Russian. Now, but I want to ask, is it okay if I mention the escape for Russian, or only just conclude that overall it can be seen that the number of tourists increase over the given period? Thank you.
This is not question
Oh,
time
okay.
lah.
Thank
Later,
you.
yeah. Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Yes. Overall, it all increased. Yeah, the
Yes.
number of tourists going to Kofu has increased over time. Let's give him applause. Yes. Thank you very much, and also for her. Yeah. Right. Okay. We'll hold that. Yeah, while we answer his question later, while we analyze this now. Yeah. The things that you need to not focus, to identify first time will be all the key features. Sorry, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. So this one is in percentage, yeah, from 0 to 16%. Nationality of tourists, French, Russian, Japanese, in 3 different time period, not from 95 to 2005. Basically, what she said, yes? Okay. Now, the trends, sorry, after you identify that, you need to paraphrase the task into introduction. So the bar chart below, you can write this figure shows. You don't need to write above or below because we don't see the chart, yes? Right. This figure shows, there says compares tourists of different nationalities, the differences in the percentage of, goes into details for nationalities, French, Russian, and Japanese visitors. The place to Corfu, of course, and the time period in 1995, 2000, and 2005. There are things that should change, that there are things that cannot change, and there are some things that can be, or yeah, maybe you can change it, but not all the time. Like, how would you rephrase the years? 1995, are you going to write it in words? 1995, no, too much, yeah? Overdoing it, yeah. But what you should change will be, instead of using bar chart there, you can say this figure or the chart, or the chart illustrates, describes, don't use explain, it doesn't talk, describes, illustrates, or shows, yeah? Right. That's the introduction. Your standard rubric will always be to summarize the information, select and report the main features, and make comparisons where relevant. Now, here, we're going to the main trends, which you're going to describe in your overview, as what he said, and then he asked questions, yes? Now, first thing, I will go by the order of the nationalities, yeah? Now, if you look at French, yeah. So it started from 10%, and then 5 years later, it increased by 2%, and it remains steady in 2005. If we look at Russian, tend to decrease and then increase. Then if you look at Japanese, yeah. So excited, yeah? Okay, that's fine, which is good, yes? I like that. Slightly or dramatically? Yes. So would you describe the French first or Japanese first? Why? It's more significant, no? Yeah. You don't always have to follow this order. That's where you identify the trends, which is the most significant feature of the chart, yes? So compare Japanese to French in this chart, not the people. it's more exciting to talk about the Japanese trend first. Then talk about the others. Yes? So you don't always have to follow through the order of that. Okay. I like those girls. Yes. Okay. Now, first thing you'll describe will be the Japanese and then the Russian. Yeah. Because their trend is from to, decrease first and then increase slightly. And then the last one is the French. Remain steady until the end of the period. Also, make sure that you input what's happening at the beginning and what's happening at the end. Right? Questions, write them down for later. Okay? Yes. Right. Now, let's move on to the the overview, yeah? Let's compare with this. So you've got the introduction there, and here is the overview. Your overview will follow what you said earlier about the main trends. So it's clear from the diagram that there was a dramatic rise in the percentage of Japanese visitors between the first and the second, between 1995 and 2005. The proportion of Russians declined significantly, then recovered slightly, and the ratio of French tourists remained largely stable. So that's the first trend. Where's the red? That's the first one, Japanese visitors, Russians visitors, and the French tourists. Okay. Heads up, more text coming. And here's the body paragraph. So the first one was Japanese, French, or Russian? Japanese. Second, good. And all right. Now, your body paragraph should follow the sequence suggested in your overview, right? So remember also to use specific figures. Don't just say the overview and that's it. Yeah, we still need the details, right? Don't try to describe every piece of data. 1995, 8%, 2000, 10%. Yeah, it's too mechanical. Of course. Here's a sample of the body paragraphs coming up next. So, Russia. In 1995, the largest percentage of foreign tourists, this is only an example, guys. It doesn't mean you have to write the numbers in parentheses or in brackets, yeah? There are other ways for you to mention the details. 10% of visitors came from France, and the smaller group were from Japan. So this writer started with what's happening at the beginning of the period before it moves on to describing the trends of each one. This changed significantly in 2000 when there were slightly more French visitors than Russian, and so on. I don't have to read it out, right? Okay. In the next slide, we're going to have a look at the time references and numbers and details. So in 1995, 2000, 2005, this shows the time period, time reference, and then the numbers. Can you mention the difference instead of the exact percentage? You can, as long as we know either the beginning or the ending. Yeah, how much it was at the start and how much it is at the end. Don't just say 2% increase, 3% increase. That's it. Yeah, 2% increase from how much? Right. In this slide, you can see the language to make comparisons. Yeah, the largest percentage, slightly more, smaller, the largest, the same. And then see how the writer uses different kinds of synonyms to rephrase tourists. Tourists and nationalities, yeah. Visitors came from France, French visitors, then Russian. So you don't use Russia all the time. Russian tourists, Russian visitors, Japanese tourists, Japanese people, who suddenly formed the largest group at 14% of all tourists. Russian and French visitors was the same in that year at 12%. So you see, you don't have to use all these sophisticated words. Yeah. That's different in speaking, yeah. It was absolutely amazing that the largest percentage of doesn't really go like that, yeah? Okay, a bit too much. Okay, right. In summary, for writing task 1, please do these. Yes. Always analyze the task before you actually write, yeah? And then make plan, right? Provide an overview, no data. Describe the information with lots of data. Also, make sure you compare and contrast the right information if they're relevant. Yeah? Okay. Right. Let's move on to writing task 2. Yay. Are you still here? Yay. Okay. That's the spirit. Okay. Writing task 2, what was it about? Anyone remembers? And I started this presentation. Got about 20 minutes. Essay, yes. What kind of essay? Opinion. Yes. More? Yes, agreeing or disagreeing about something. Yes, you need to present or justify an opinion. Provide a solution to a problem. Sometimes you also need to address 2 questions, yeah? Why is this the case, or what solutions, right? For example. Now, yeah, this is the difference with writing task 1. So task 1 is task achievement, where you need to identify the key features and trends. In task 2, you need to show that you have understood and answered the question or questions in the time given. Are you able to write at least 250 words within 40 minutes? Although they're not going to check, 40 minutes you should do task, you should be done with task 2. No. Overall, you've got 1 hour to do both tasks. Okay. But if you don't have good time management, then you might not finish either one. Yeah. Well, of course, we can tell. Stop mid-sentence or even mid-word, right, which is a shame. So time management is important. The other 3 criteria are the same, basically. How you structured your essay, how you use your grammar and vocabulary. Okay, always refer to the band descriptors. Right. Now, what are the typical questions? Some of them have been mentioned. The most common one is, do you agree or disagree? In this case, you should being the prompt, mention both sides before you choose your position. If you think there are more advantages, yeah, I'm moving on too fast. This is more into the structure. But do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Again, I think you will get better chance to get a higher score if you are able to mention both before you mention that, before you mention your position. Yeah, you think the drawbacks are A, B, C. However, the benefits are D, E, F. That's why I think there are more benefits. Yeah, so you mention both and then choose a side. Obviously, you have to discuss both sides, yeah, before you choose your position. This one is more like, do you agree or disagree? How far? You should say something like, I completely agree or I strongly disagree, like how strong you feel about agreeing or disagreeing to it. You don't have to discuss both sides, just one, but make sure it's strong enough to support your position. I wouldn't advise you to be neutral. You know, Indonesians are very polite, right? Yeah, A is okay, B is also fine. For the sake of your test score, choose a side. Remember, this is a language test, not a personality test. Yes, okay. They wouldn't know even if you lie, you make up stories. But it all depends on how well you support your opinion. Okay, right. And the last one is where you get two-part questions. For example, cause and effect, or describing the problems and solutions. So these are typical questions, yeah? Okay. Planning is always important. What do you need? Yeah, there's a short practice. I hope we have time. Analyze the question similar to task 1 again. Now, we will see how the brainstorm states is slightly different from task 1. Yeah, because here you start from scratch. Task 1, you have a chart, you just need to describe it. That's why we recommend you, we as in the exams team at British Council, we recommend you to start with task 2 first. Because you start from zero, you start from scratch, and you have more time and more words to write. Make sure you know what your position is, selecting and organizing the main points, and then make sure you have write enough in time. Always spend some time to proofread and self-correct. So I have a sample question here. So in task 1, you decide the what, where, when. Yeah. For task 2, you need to decide the what the topic is, and then what you need to do. Yeah, basically only that. There is no where or when. Anybody wants to try? What's the topic? The main topic that you need to discuss? Yes?
The topic is discuss about the purview and then give opinion about international tourism. And then there are two view. Some people believe the international tourism have benefit for local people or local area, and then the other people say that international tourism give a negative impact to the local people.
Thank you very much. Diaz, was it? Sorry, that's Diaz. Okay, what's your name? Nico. Thank you very much, Nico. Yes, okay. The main topic is international tourism. Benefit for the local areas or negative. Yeah, so positive versus negative, right? Can you discuss Bali? International tourists coming to Bali, and then in Bali we have Ubud, Kuta, what else? Legian, Karangasem, and then last week I went to Karangasem with my family. That's off topic, guys. Right? So you ended up describing your family holiday, right? Now, it's easy to digress like that. It's easy, like you to observe something and then you feel happy about it and you share, which is irrelevant, yeah? Now, that's the topic. Let's go back. I was digressing myself. So positive, negative effect of international tourism to the local areas. You need to discuss both views, both the positive and negative, and give your opinion. Now, let's see. Here's your brainstorming stage. Make a list of the positive things and the negative things. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. You can discuss with someone sitting next to you. What are the positive things and negative things about from international tourism to the local areas? A couple of minutes only. In threes is okay. In three, it's fine. Stuck as in Then you start talking about Bali itself instead of the, because it's easy to, yeah. Then you focus on that instead of the. Okay, yeah, it's fun. Yeah, some groups have compared notes with different partners, which is good. And let's see if you got some of this. Yeah, yeah, I've seen some. Guys, yeah, you have that, right? Negative, maybe anybody wants to say something? What's the negative points of international tourism? Yeah, I know. Anybody lives in Bandung? Yeah. Jakartans go to Bandung every weekend, yes? And people in Bandung just stay at home. Lembang, Lembang, Lembang. Yes, Villa, Villa, Villa. Anyone? Negative part? Or you just want to shout it out, it's fine. Oh, yes, okay. Yes. 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5?
Maybe 2.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll take it. Yes.
Massive building constructive impact the environment.
Closer, please, so we can hear you clearly.
Massive building construction impact the environment.
Right.
Yeah. And then
Somebody says yes.
disrespectful of the local culture
Right.
by the international tourism.
Right. Okay. So that's 2. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yay. Yes, please. Okay. Anybody got the similar ideas? Yeah. Okay. Personal experience is okay. Yeah. It's okay to put in a personal experience in it, but don't take it from your perspective. Yeah. Don't say I, but people or they, right? Some, other, right? Okay. Basically, increase in crime. Yeah. Local people who got jealous. Yeah, okay. Only business owners get profit, but local people, no. Right? Bad for the environment. I think some of you, different wordings, but basically that's it. Loss of local areas' unique identity or even traditional culture. Yeah? Okay, that's a part of it. Now, one thing that I want to point out, after you brainstorm for ideas, basically you write down whatever you can think of, right? Don't stop there and then start writing. Read them. Anything overlaps. How about these 2? Won't you say, do you think these 2 are different points? It's similar, yeah? If you have these 2 as your main ideas, paragraph 1 and 2, what will you write? Right? It's good for the local economy. Why? Because it creates jobs for locals. They're basically the same thing, right? So one thing explains the other. Yeah. Think about why it's good for the local economy. What's the reason? Yeah. Because first, it creates jobs for the locals. Secondly, then find something else. Yeah. So don't repeat the same ideas. So this is your crossing out stage. Yeah, you cross out, think of, oh, I think I can combine this with this one. They're basically similar, right? Or this is actually an example of that one. If you were here last week, I gave you the 3 E's: explanation, evidence, and example. So stick to that. It's basically a similar strategy you do in the writing section. Now, if you combine those 2, you can say, well, it creates jobs for locals, and then it promotes intercultural understanding. Think of something else. It's actually from the first one, but we can't really go back to the first one. So yeah. Yeah, positive thing, right? Okay, so we learn about other culture, and then maybe tolerance, yes, and respect, build respect. But the negative side, nah, this is something that we call balancing views, not as in being neutral, balance, but if you have 2 reasons for that, you need also to have 2 reasons for this. 2 positive points, 2 negative points. If at the end of the essay you say there are more positive ideas, there are more positive things that international tourism bring to local areas, but you only have 2 points in positive but 5 things in negative, do you actually support that there are more advantages of international tourism? No. Yeah. So think of balance points. Yeah. It'll be weird, right? So I think there are more positive, but you only have 2 reasons and then 5 here. Okay. Don't be labil as well. There are some candidates who do that. Like at the beginning, they said there are more advantages, but then in the conclusion, there are more drawbacks. So I don't support this point. Yeah, no coffee yet. All right, so that's it. Then you can expand using three E's. Introduction. I'm going to show you an example of how you can rephrase the task words, quite similar to task 1, but this is for task 2. Now, the main topic of this one is, right, there's no highlights. So, learning at home, teaching children at home versus learning at school. Yeah. Children to go to school. Discuss the advantages of both methods. So you need to discuss the benefits of learning at home and learning at school. You don't have to discuss the disadvantages. So only discuss the benefits of both methods and then choose which one. Do you think it's learning at home has more benefits or learning at school? I'm going to show you a sample introduction. Can you tell me what the writer's position is? Learning at home or learning at school? Home or school? Yes, school. Why? Last sentence, yes. Okay, right. An introductory paragraph has about 2 to 3 sentences. Sentence 1 is the general statement, the main idea. You restate the topic, give a background of the essay. The argument over whether learning at home or at school is better for children has been settled yet in your essay. Yeah? So where home education offers better protection with individual learning and opportunities for families to bond, the opposite position. Schools have a superior range of material and human resources. My position. We call this making concession. If you're familiar with debate, you call it rebuttal. Yeah, you address the opposite position first before presenting your own, and then finish it with the writer's position. Ultimately, I think the school experience is the best for children. So we know where you stand and what we're going to read next. If you're writing it like this, then in the next paragraph, we know that the writer will talk about all the home education. Because you will present the argument supporting your position right before the conclusion, where you restate your position. That will make your essay stronger. Yes? Hold that question. Yes. Next one. I'm going to show you 2 sample paragraphs. Let me know which one is better and why. Not just because one is longer than the other, yeah? Okay? This is the first one. Okay? Here's the second one. Heads up, quite long. So, paragraph 1 or 2? Anybody care to say why? Yes, you were here last week. Yes.
Hello, good evening everyone. I'm Sylvie. Okay, paragraph 2 are better than paragraph 1 because paragraph 2 contain a detailed information why South Asia, this is a very specific place. I mean, most of Asia will choose Australia, Europe, and America for future study. And yeah, regarding my experience study abroad in India, if you are studying another country, you are in Indonesia, most of subject not available. And if you are study in abroad, you can choose any subject linear or non-linear as elections class for
Right.
your subject. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sylvie. Yay! Let's give her a round of applause, guys. Come on. She was here last week, right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Paragraph 2 is more, yes, detail. Is it easy to follow the idea? Yeah. What's wrong with this? Overseas students study further. They may come simply because parents want them to study. In some countries, because of this, go back to Australia. And then go back to overseas students. So elect to study subjects they may not. So it jumps around, yeah? Okay, like I said, Jakarta, Semarang, Bandung, yes? Okay. Oh, Garut first, even further. Right, now a good paragraph must have, anybody know what TS is? Not Taylor Swift, yes? Sorry? Thesis statement, yes, or topic sentence. Yeah, well, there was academic writing a couple of days ago, I think. Here. Did you attend? No? Oh, right. A good paragraph must have a TS, topic sentence or thesis statement. It's the same in academic writing, yeah? Then this is the main idea, the controlling idea of the whole paragraph. It's supported by Sam Smith. No, that's our boss, yeah. Oops. Okay, supporting sentence, yes. This is usually the why and the how. Yeah, remember explanation, evidence, example, yeah? Basically the same. Supporting sentence, and lastly you need the DS. Developing sentence, usually details or examples. Now if we go back to that paragraph, sorry. Ta-da. So the TS is the one in red. There are several reasons why overseas students come to Australia to do further study. Firstly, that's your supporting sentence 1. Secondly, the ones in purple, they're the supporting sentences, yeah? So firstly, secondly, thirdly. Now, each supporting sentence is supported by a developing sentence. You see, firstly, all the sentences in supposed to be green, but Australia is a popular choice, So that's a developing sentence that supports the first reason. Yeah? Are you with me? Thank God. Yes. Okay. So all the ones in greens are the developing sentences that support or give further explanation or examples to the supporting sentences. This is not easy, guys. It takes practice. It's never an instant thing as in coffee, yeah? Something you need to practice, right? And in summary for the paragraph, you could have the basic format like this. So at least 4 paragraphs, at least 4 paragraphs. Can you write a 6-paragraph essay? You can, but do you have to? Do you want to? Just because you write 500-word essay doesn't mean you'll get a band 9. Yeah, it doesn't guarantee you get a band 9. The more words you write doesn't mean you'll get a higher score. The more accurate your essay is, and clear, and all the 4 marking criteria, then you could or you might get a 9. So this is a typical one. There is an introduction. There is an introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, and a concluding paragraph. Just as an example, if you think that there are more benefits to something, that you would present all the disadvantages first in the first body paragraph, and then you provide all the supporting reasons for the benefits, yeah, all the points, all the advantages, and then finish strongly by saying, that's why, yeah, for the benefits mentioned, that's your position, right? Because you think there are more benefits. Again, this is only an example, guys. You need to practice. It doesn't mean that although you choose the advantages over the disadvantages, you should always write it like this. But it will be more clear if you go with the opposite position first and then presenting the one that supports your opinion. Okay? So it's clear, more structured, more organized. To end this, I will provide you with some tips for writing task 2. And some more tips coming right up in the next slide. Don't write in bullet points. It's an essay. Don't confuse task 2, task 1, general training, a letter. Then you write a letter, yeah? It's not also a narrative as in a fiction. Make sure the tone is, or the register is up for task 2, formal or semi-formal. Make sure you develop your points, providing reasons, examples, and further explanation. And always check your work for mistakes at the end. For more sample writing tasks and answers, this is taken from IELTS.org. If you scan that, it will take you to the whole booklet of writing tasks and sample writing. If you read a lot of sample answers, the one with high band, yeah, not the low band, you kind of get used to, I don't really like the term template, but yeah, you know what I mean, right? So if you get used to this kind of the format of essay or report, then you know what you need to do, right? You just need to adapt and adjust to whatever chart or data you get during the test. The next slide will take you to sources. This is for listening, reading, and writing, also from IELTS.org. There are some practice tests and answer keys, so you can do self-check. I think you can also find the conversion scores, conversion table. Like, for example, listening, you've got 40 questions. Then if you get, let's say, 32 correct answers, it's normally equal to band 6. Yeah, so there's a conversion table for the scores, yeah? So they're all points to the band score. So this is for that 3, those 3. And for other sources, freebies, yes. Okay, we also have a couple of things which will be presented by Narita. So she is our British Council marketing manager. I think you can have the mic.
Thank you, Grace. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Does anyone find this beneficial? So who's going to take IELTS? Within the near future? Higher? Oh, great. That's plenty. So thank you very much for coming. My name is Narita Singer. I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager for the British Council Indonesia Foundation. I'm also under the examinations team with my colleague here, Arnold. So thank you all for coming. I just want to get a brief explanation about this one. This is the IELTS Ready Premium. We actually do give you something if you have chosen to register with us. So when you've become our test candidate, that's what we call it, you will have an access to this. So it's called premium, but it's free if you're a test taker for the British Council, okay? So this is the free preparation resources. We have around 40 sets of questions, something that you need to spend from the first time you register until you finish the test. And this feature will remain to be in your test taker portal within 7 days after your test date. So if you would like to keep on practicing, you're still able to do this, okay? So that's why we always recommend you to register in advance, not a week before, okay? Because sometimes our seats are full. Maybe you can register 2 months before the test date so that you can utilize this, okay? So this is actually for free. And the next one is about the IELTS 1 skill retake. So here's the good news. If, by any chance, you think that one of your skills is not enough, or maybe it's under the minimum score required by the institution or the organization, you can only take just one, retake, just one skill. It's either listening, reading, writing, and speaking within 60 days, okay? So once you know that, oh no, it's under the minimum, so you can just go ahead and through our test taker portal, you can identify the next test date and you can take it. This is just in case you didn't get the minimum, but that's why we always encourage you to practice and practice and practice, because it's always best to get the targeted score, if we may say, within one go. So you don't need to repeat, you don't need to retake, you don't need to have remedials, if we may say. Okay, so you can get the information from here. So I think it's now the question and answer session. Can we start with maybe 2 questions first?
Let's hear what you wrote.
If you've been paying attention, and then, okay, the lady over here, okay.
Thank you, Miss. My name is Yuni. Actually, my question is related to writing test. Actually, in the test, we already know the minimum word that currently to write. Is there any limitation for the maximum word that we need to make it to the writing test?
Right.
Okay,
Good news is there is no maximum words. You can write 500 words, yes. But then back to my earlier question, do you have to? Is it necessary? Will that improve your score? No. It's different. I guess writing style is different. Indonesian style and outside Indonesia. So it's only in Indonesia where you the more pages you write, the higher score you get, right? Yeah, the more pages you write, the higher score you get. Now, academic writing style, you need to get to the point. Yeah, more concise. Concise being it's clear. So, I would say roughly between 250 to 300 words is enough. Yeah, between that range. Why spend too much time in task 2 while you can use the time to improve on your task 1? Okay, so I would say, let's say about 30 minutes to do task 2 and then switch to task 1. Although it's only 20 minutes to do task 1, but at least you have 10 minutes to catch your breath and relax. Yes, okay, so focus on proofreading and then making corrections of your task. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for coming, yeah? Okay, right, next one.
Thank you. Next, there are two over there.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Iwan, and my question relate with the IELTS test 2. Basically, it's not about the IELTS. I remember I had applied some of the program that they encourage us to apply to writing a motivation letter. The question is it is the same motivation letter with the essay, and what's the difference? Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I think we had a motivation letter session, yeah, here a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, college application. Yes. You need to follow at America's Instagram account. Yes. Okay. College application letter, motivation letter, application letter. Is it the same as IELTS writing tasks? I won't say they're the same. Yeah, like I think this is not my place to talk about college application letter, but I can tell you now that they are completely different. Right. So for IELTS, you need to address the questions as we did earlier. Right. For college application letter, they have experts better than this, but I would say it's more about the reason, your motivation, why you apply to that university. Yeah, so they're different. Jakarta, Bandung. Yes. Okay, thank you though. Thank you very much. Yes.
Next question from the lady from the behind.
Okay. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Natasha, but first thing I would like to thank you for sharing to us about the writing test. It is very inspiring and insightful. And I would like to ask about the thing that you've explained earlier about the two things that we have to compare between the disadvantages and the advantages. Okay, so the question is, what if we already have the advantages, more points on that, in comparison to the disadvantages? Is it okay? Because earlier you said that it is better to balance out the 2 points of the parts. That's the first thing. And also the second question is, I really am curious about, do we have to use big words or sophisticated words? Because I learned from YouTube that they encourage us to use big words and etc. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Natasha. All right. First one, yes. Yeah, it's better to have a balanced view, as in, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, you can't really choose a side, but you have fewer reasons to support that. What if, let's say, I think there are more advantages to this, and you have let's say 5 things to say, 5 advantages, but you only have like 3 disadvantages? Is that a good enough example? Yeah, right. So 5 and 3. Can you write them all? What do you guys think? If you're absolutely convinced that they can support and make it clear, why not? But then go back to, is it really necessary? Yeah. Why not just stop in 3? Because you have 3 points for the other. Yeah. I guess for academic life, yes, I think you can do that. But for this, because there are the things that you need to consider versus is timing, and then have you done task one or not, right? And then there are other things. Not to mention, some people tend to get more nervous during a test day. Yeah, they might not get ideas that quickly within that. And then sometimes you don't realize there's already 30 minutes and you haven't written anything. Can happen. It can happen. Yeah. But I will go back to my opinion that it's better to stay in balance. But if you think that can clearly support your idea, your position, just go for it. Yeah. Okay. And for the second one, can you use big words? Well, you can if it's accurate and appropriate. But it's more about how appropriate and how accurate your range of vocabulary is. Yeah. Well, the same as what we discussed last week in speaking. You don't come into the speaking room and say, "Hey, dude, what's up?" Yeah. So you don't write that like that. You don't say that to the examiner. Yeah. So formal, as long as they're formal, acceptable in a semi-formal or formal occasions, and appropriate and accurate. Yes, I hope that answers the question. Have we still got time?
No, I think
Yes.
I think we're running out of time. So thank you very much for everyone.
Thank
who's
you for
been
coming,
here.
guys. Good luck
Yes.
with your IELTS test. Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay.
And if you want to see more information, please visit BritishCouncilFoundation.id. And we're also having some regular sessions with At America. You may try to follow At America's social media to find out what skills will we go for the next turn. So thank you very much. I'll give the stage back to Farah. Thank you, Farah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the very insightful session, Kak Grace and Kak Narita. And we hope everyone can have a better preparation for IELTS test. Good luck, everyone, and never stop learning. Yes, thank you. Earlier in our event, we have a social media quiz, and the question was, when was the IELTS first established? And the answer to that is D. The first IELTS was established in 1980. And shout out goes to Sis ST Hadianti from YouTube for answering the question correctly. If you think that our event is interesting to you and very useful, kindly visit our website at www.atamerica.or.id and also consider to follow our social media as well. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X at ATAmerica. Thank you so much once again for attending At America event and see you at the next At America event. Bye everyone. Thank you so much everyone. Have a great week.